Well, hello. My name is Dr. Sparkman Key, and I am a professor at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. Today I'm going to be speaking about the emergence of the family-oriented human service practitioner, which was part of a Grounded study. This study sought to explore the knowledge, skills, and experiences required of human service professionals in an effort to work with at-risk families. 14 participants were included in this study, and they were required to work directly with children and families within a child centered agency in the southern state of Virginia. Participants ranged from administrators to assistant workers and held between a master's degree and an associate's degree. There were diverse years and experience of this population. Based on the emergent themes from participant data, the researchers conclude that the knowledge, skills, and experience implemented by human service practitioners to manage families that are in conflict can attribute to three concurrently occurring factors: interpersonal skills for helping relationship development, knowledge of family oriented practice, as well as experience in providing family focused services, which you can see by this diagram. All three of these contribute to the identity of the family oriented human services practitioner. We theorize that these three factors occur on a constantly evolving basis throughout the development of the professional, and that this professional develops over three stages, in which we will talk about later. So let's expand on each of these areas a little bit more. The area of knowledge of family oriented practice is broken into two areas: one, formal education, and the other, hands on experience. The researchers theorize that the family-oriented human service practitioner will possess knowledge of family-oriented practice through hands-on experience in managing families in conflict in human service settings, as well as through formal and informal education in this area. Expanding on this area of this model, it is theorized that this ongoing attainment of knowledge, education, and experience enhances the professional development of the family-oriented human service practitioner as they manage families in conflict. Now, let's briefly put into context what we mean by formal and informal education. Participants identify undergraduate and graduate degrees, evidence-based interventions, workshops, their specific knowledge of families, resources, case management, supervision, and clinical readiness as formal and informal education. They identify hands-on experience as addressing parent conflict, teaching positive parenting, addressing addiction, managing stress, to name a few. The next area of our model is interpersonal skills for helping relationship development. This is divided into two areas: personality traits and learned practitioner skills. The researchers theorize that interpersonal skills are a part of the personnel characteristics of the family-oriented human service practitioner, specifically those such as being genuine and honest, as well as having compassion and patience, which were supported within the data. Within the participant data, interpersonal skills were not only based on the personal characteristics of the practitioner, but were also learned skills throughout the career of the professional. Learned practitioner skills such as the ability to educate families, effectively setting boundaries, being able to effectively communicate and listen, as well as conflict resolution skills manifested in the data. Personality characteristics defined by participants were humility, genuineness, honesty, person-centered personality, knowledge of self, compassion, just to name a few. Learned practitioner skills were setting boundaries, being objective, being an effective communicator, becoming an educator, having counseling skills, and being non-judgmental, just to name a few. The final area of the family-oriented human service practitioner model is characterized as experience providing family-focused services. This is identified as three different areas: client development, community-based services, and restructuring families. The researchers theorize that the family-oriented human service practitioner engages in family-focused services that encompasses one or a combination of the following three areas: restructuring families, services for families in the community, or client development. Based on the participant data, it can be theorized that engaging in family-oriented service delivery is a vital component of the family-oriented human service practitioner identity. It is theorized that the three distinct areas of family-focused service delivery encompass the diverse roles the human service practitioner may hold and an individualized benefit to conflict management within families. Family-focused service delivery addressed the overall goal of the family-oriented human service practitioner. Restructuring families was defined by participants as addressing abuse, neglect, counseling, mediation within families, reunifying or unification of families, dissolution of families, child-focused services, and adoption. Client development services was identified by participants as family development, child development, and parent development. Community-based services were identified as legal services, in-home counseling, support groups, mental health skill building, and parenting classes. We argue that the three areas of our model develops in the practitioner over three different stages. So the family-oriented human service practitioner actually develops each of these skills in three stages. And the first stage is knowledge, skills, and experience. In the first stage of the family-oriented human service practitioner identity, we theorize that the professional is engaged in the attainment of knowledge of family services and conflict, as well as applying inherent interpersonal skills while developing those that are learned. At this stage, the emerging professional increases their knowledge of family conflict through post-secondary education in a discipline that will prepare them for the family-oriented practice. We posit that through formal and informal education, the emerging professional gains foundational knowledge of family-oriented practice, develops learned interpersonal skills, and gains an introduction to theories of family systems. The second stage of the family-oriented human service practitioner is supervision and development. It is characterized by the continuous development of the knowledge, skills, and experiences acquired in the first stage and application to family practice. Differentiating this stage from the earlier stage of development, the researchers posit that the emerging professional is obtaining knowledge from on-the-job trainings in addition to post-secondary education, usually on the graduate level. Knowledge that was previously gained in the course room in stage 1 is now enhanced through developmental supervision provided by the practitioners in workplace. While interpersonal skills are developed and identified in stage 1, in stage 2, it is characterized by the application of these interpersonal skills in family-focused service delivery, specifically as it relates to rapport building, mediating family conflict, or expressing empathy or active listening. In addition to applying interpersonal skills, the emerging professional will begin to develop experiential skills that are consistent with family-oriented practice. The researchers conclude that experiential skills such as case management, documentation, care coordination, and implementing evidence-based interventions are characteristic of this stage. The final stage is identity development. Stage 3 consists of the emerging family-oriented human service practitioner demonstrating knowledge and skills, as well as possessing the experience required to be effective in family-focused practice. Practitioners in this stage are no longer in the developmental stage of practice, but have transitioned to disseminating knowledge to entry-level professionals. The acquisition of knowledge, application of interpersonal skills, and developing experiences from previous stages does not end in this stage, but transforms to contribute to the field of family practice. Knowledge developed and enhanced in previous stages is now maintained in this stage through the attainment of continuing education units or other professional development opportunities. Interpersonal skills that were learned and developed in stage 1 are now extended beyond application to at-risk families, but now include the supervision and development of entry-level practitioner in stages 1 and 2 of their model. I guess you're wondering, what does all of this mean for the field of human services? How does this model influence human services? Ultimately, we note that this model has direct implications for human service practice because there is a need to evolve in these three main areas, which may suggest the need for professional development to strengthen skills or further family-focused education. However, it has implications for human service education, as educators should help students identify their interpersonal skills and assist in developing advanced skills. Educators should create an environment in which future practitioners know that in order to be successful with families, they will need ongoing professional development and to seek opportunities to advance in their knowledge of family-oriented practice and family-focused services. Competency 1, the human service practitioner develops new skills, applies interpersonal skills, and attains the conceptual and theoretical knowledge required to effectively meet the needs of at-risk families. We have identified the second competency as the human service practitioner gains further knowledge in the application of previously learned conceptual and theoretical knowledge through professional development opportunities and mentorship by family-oriented human service practitioners. Practitioners further enhance skills independently through application with at-risk families with the oversight of their employers. We have identified competency 3 as the human services practitioner at this stage assumes the identity of family-oriented human service practitioner. The human services practitioner continues to enhance their knowledge, experience, and skills and application to at-risk families through hands-on application and professional development. The practitioner mentors entry-level professionals and takes on leadership roles through research, professional presentations, and management positions within their agencies. Having an understanding that these three competencies are required to become family-oriented human service practitioners is so important because educators can use these three competencies to advance the skills of their students. Employers can use these three competencies to assess whether their employees are in line with becoming more family-oriented human service practitioners. And emerging practitioners can use these three competencies to assess where they are and what level they need to get to in order to become family-oriented human service practitioners. So these three competencies are very important to practice. We would be remiss if we did not mention that there are some limitations to this study, as this study was very narrow in scope and very focused in the area of Virginia. In order to really expand our understanding of this model and whether it accurately predicts what is happening in the field, We need a national sample. We need to expand our efforts and expand our application to assess whether this model is accurate.